Howdy howdy, this is Critic Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover round 1 results for the Namor and Juggernaut arenas, then jump into my thoughts for round 2 cutoffs. So for the results, yeah, we got an all-time high. The word was out early. The word was out on the street. The word was out across the community that Namor was one of the better bursty champions out there. I think everybody was kind of tired of the Ebony Maw sickness of not a pathetic, but just a underwhelming new champ. So when Namor hit the streets, the word got out early for the content creators with some of their videos showing how good he could be. So just everybody went out, and there was a lot of folks who were kind of broadcasting across the community that they too were going to push for the 5-star feature Namor, and that really shot the numbers up. I mean, 80 million points. We've never seen anything like 80 million points. I don't think we saw 80. We've never seen 80 millions back in the day of bots. Who's to say, though, that bots haven't made their way back? People taking a shot at trying to get Namor, that 5-star version of him. And but regardless, no matter how we got there, 80.1 million for the first round cutoff of the 5-star feature Namor. That's crazy numbers. Jumping over to the 4-star feature, that's kind of right in line of what we've seen of late of new champs. Even Ebony Maw didn't get up to 12 million, but got up to like 11 million and some change, I believe. But yeah, so 12.6, this is totally in the expected range. And then 1.61 for Juggernaut, the 4-star basic arena. This is exactly on par, exactly as kind of what we expected and we have been seeing from a trends perspective. So when I compare these actuals against my predictions, kind of probably based off the way that I explained it, you really shouldn't be surprised on these predictions, because 64 million, that's kind of like the trends we have been seeing of late. Even for Call Obsidian, he was right around this ballpark number. No one was seeing 80 million. We knew it was going to be high, and I actually did a stream shortly after I posted this video, and based off of some other conversations, by that point I was like, you know what, my 64 million probably isn't enough. So I was suggesting folks go to 75, 77 million, and that still wasn't enough. But anyway, it's clear that 80 million was a totally unexpected, and that's why we always say and no matter what industry, no matter what you're looking at, when people are using analytics to do predictive analytics anyway, they'll always tell you past results do not guarantee future results, and this is a pure example why. However, it's better than looking at nothing when you look at past results, because for the most part, when you get a lot of trends, a lot of times they fall right in suit, and that's the case with the 4-star feature and the 4-star basic arena. These numbers were almost spot on. I mean, just give or take, it's not even within 5%. These are within like 2 to 3% kind of hit. So these are definitely decent numbers, but exceptions can happen. So that's why I always tell folks, take these predictions with a grain of salt. Keep in mind, they're based off of past results, and past results always don't guarantee what future results will be. So anyway, that's a good recap of what happened in round 1. Considering, this isn't a perfect science, more of an approximate, let's take a look at some past results for round 2 for similar arenas. And really, there's no similar arena for this 5-star feature arena, but just to get a sense of where we've seen really high numbers in the past, what we can expect in the second round. So starting first with that 5-star feature. So looking back since the new calendar year, since 2019, here are some of the highest performers, or the highest cutoffs, I should say, for the first round 5-star feature arena. Thing came in at 66 million. He had a big bump to 73 million. And 73 million, keep in mind, that second round occurs during the week when more people were at work, less time to do the arena grinding, etc. So it was kind of a surprise to see that bump. Everybody knew that, hey, wow, there was still a bump to 73 million. That's a lot of points. So when Mr. Sinister came around, he scored a 62 million, right around that Thing arena, first round arena results. A lot of people were thinking, second round, you know what? I don't have the time to mess around with this. It's going to be super high. I'm not going to do it. And guess what happened? Nobody went in and did any arena grinding. So what happened? Those folks, I wonder who decides to go to 20 million, because that's well above where that last milestone reward really typically hits, because that's usually around 12 to 13 million, closer to 13 million. So for whatever reason, this person decided to, maybe they were starting to do the grind midway through and saying, you know what, I just don't have time. This time I'm going to stop. And they'll be glad that they pushed it to 20 million, because 20 million rewarded a 5-star feature Mr. Sinister in the second round. And that kind of drop off can happen when there's such high absurd numbers for that second round. Now when we come over to Human Torch, 51 million. He dropped down to 41 million. And that's not necessarily an apples to apples compared to Mr. Sinister and Thing, and especially like Call Obsidian. So more recently here with Call Obsidian, he too had 62 million. People remembered that Mr. Sinister dropped, so they went ahead and pushed the numbers up still. And that second round was more like the Thing second round and went all the way to 70 million. So this is what happened with the 5-star feature the last couple times when we had over 60 million in the first round. Now we've already pushed over that 70 million. We're at 80 million. This is unheard of. There's no past results to look at. All we know is when we had 60 million, 2 out of the 3 times it went higher to 73 million. But maybe that 73, 75 million is kind of the threshold we can expect in the second round. If there's a champ who's going to push it, it's probably going to be Namor. But anyway, moving on to the other arenas, what we've seen with the 4-star feature, out of these, some recent examples for new champs that kind of fell within that 11 to 12 million bucket. You can see with Nick Fury, he went down a little bit from 11 to mid 10 millions. Human Torch went from 11 million to 11.4 million, almost 11.5 million. Ronan, he went to 12.1, but dropped just a little under 11 million. And then more recently, Call Obsidian went from 12.7 to 12.8. And again, I think I like looking at this Call Obsidian result because I think it's going to be something similar. And you can see this general tiering going up. Other than that Ronin drop in the second round, for the most part, we've been trending up a little bit with this 4-star feature arena cutoff results. So I think we're going to see that here. But the good news is it's nothing ridiculous, nothing like from 12.7 with Call Obsidian then to like 14 million. No, it was just a slight bump, 100,000 and some change that we saw in the second round for Call Obsidian. Probably something we can expect for Namor. Jumping over to the 4-star basic, this is more like clockwork as well. You typically have a slight bump between round one to round 2. And lastly, this also is very clockwork, 3-star feature. After everybody who wanted to grind and get their hands on the new champ in the 3-star feature arena just to have their own experience, then that always drops in the second round. These numbers kind of fluctuate from time to time as, unfortunately, across the community, those folks that collect self-reported numbers from the community, they don't look at 3 stars anymore. But based off of what I'm hearing from folks, either in the comments section and in my videos, Reddit, or different places, it seems to be that general now. First round, 1.4 million, dropping down to around 1.3, 1.2 million in the second round. So based off of these recent results for past similar arenas, let's jump to my thoughts for round 2 of the Namor and Juggernaut arena. Now, these round 2 predictions, again, I try to get within 5 to 10%. Clearly, exceptions can happen. We just recently had one, and these predictions are for the veterans bracket, meaning your count has been open for up to 60 days. So this is basically 61 days plus. So I think we're looking at right around 73 million for Namor. Again, I think it's going to be somewhere around that number we saw for Thing and Call Obsidian. I think, it could go to 75 million roughly for that cutoff. I don't think we're going to see 80 plus this time in the second round, just kind of given the situation there. And then jumping over to the 4-star feature arena, we're looking right around 13 million. I think that's the number, that slight increase we have from round 1 to round 2. I think there's still a lot of value with Namor, even as a 4-star champ, other than Act 6. And now we know why Act 6 basically lock out for 4-star champs, because it looks like to continue to build excitement for new champs, Kabam's going to have that rotation where they keep on making 4-star champs very bursty, very good champs, but, so good so that it causes the excitement like we saw with Namor this time around, but too good of excitement to where they just want people relying on 4 stars. They still want us to go after those 5 stars, so they don't let us bring them into in-game content like Act 6. But anyway, jumping over to the 4-star basic, I think we're looking at 1.65. And then lastly, for the 3-star feature, I think we're going to see that typical decrease, and it go to 1.2 million. So these are my thoughts for the predictions. Again, exceptions can occur, so I always like to give grind targets to put a little bit more safety to where the trends are showing us the numbers could land, just to give ourselves that cushion, just in case the unexpected happen. But at the same time, I'm also trying to balance that with don't grind, to your eyes bleed or something like that. There's always that balance kind of thing, because then you don't want to put too much time in and see that you went way overboard, but you still want to get your champ. With all that said, I think you should go to at least to 76 million if you want to make sure you get Namor. 78 to be safe. And if you really want to push it to 82, go ahead. I don't think we're going to see 82 this time around, but then again, we're in uncharted territory, so anything can happen. Jumping to the 4-star feature, I think a good safe number will be 14 million. You get 14 million, I will be shocked if that doesn't get you Namor in the second round. 1.8 million for Juggernaut will definitely lock him up, and then 1.3 million for the 3-star feature Namor. Now again, these grind targets, just like these predictions, are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the earlier bracket, this is even rough patchwork because this is definitely ballpark figures, even more guesstimations, because there's not even anywhere across the community that are collecting self-reported numbers from the other players. So it's just based off of some anecdotal information I get from time to time in the comment section of my videos. And by the way, those folks who give me that information, I appreciate it very much because it allows these to stay somewhat relevant. But anyway, with the beginner's bracket, so that means your account has been open from 1 to 30 days. You're looking at the 3-star feature Namor around 245,000, the 4-star basic around 600,000, and the 4-star feature around 1.1 million. Jumping down in the intermediate bracket, meaning your account's been open for 31 to 60 days. 3-star feature, you're looking at 525. 4-star basic around 900,000. And lastly, the 4-star feature Namor, 1.2 million. And if you're in the intermediate or beginner brackets, you probably don't need me telling you this unless you're truly newly new to the game. If you're new to the game, then yeah, you definitely want to go after Namor, spend the time grinding. It's going to probably be difficult. You probably can't necessarily get to the infinite streak for some of these for the feature arenas, but you're definitely going to want to spend the time repeating it over and over and grabbing Namor, as he'll be a great character, great champ to help you rinse through a lot of content, especially in the earlier parts of the game. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 2 of the Namor and Juggernaut arenas. We'd love to hear your opinion, especially if it's different than mine. Throw it on down in the comment section. I'll check that out. We could definitely discuss it there. If you have any questions, throw it on down in the comment section, and I will try to get to them as quickly as possible. Other than that, if you find this information informational, if you find this information useful, and or you like this video, we really appreciate it if you click thumbs up on the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet and you like my videos, I really appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.